Next, we're going to be having a speaker who will be speaking to us about experiences with Armenia, but also be showing us something from Armenia. We have Anna Hakobyan, Chair of the Board of Trustees of My Step Charitable Foundation, and she's also the spouse of the Prime Minister of Armenia. But as you see with the introduction, I started with what she does, not who she's married to. But please give her a round of applause as she comes to speak to us.
The spiral gold hairpin was worn by women to emphasize their status in society. It was used in Armenia over 5,000 years ago. Aside from the hairpin, many other artifacts attest to how our ancestors strived for a civilization, improved their living standards, and adapted to the challenges of their time. Ancient maps indicate their knowledge of neighboring regions and the efforts to study their languages for communication. Over 15 centuries ago, Armenians invented their own alphabet to make knowledge accessible to everyone, rather than just a privileged few. Throughout history, Armenia has achieved significant advancements in the fields of science, art, and culture. However, these accomplishments have come at a great cost. When you look at castle walls, it is clear that they were built to safeguard cities. When you look at man-made caves, you understand that they were constructed to protect villages. And when you look back at history, you realize that nobody truly knows the importance of peace like those who have endured the destruction caused by countless wars. The pursuit of peace is the cornerstone of our historical and current achievements. And it is due to that pursuit that Armenia is currently considered one of the safest countries in the world. Today, we find ourselves united in a fight against the common adversary. We strongly believe that by joining forces and standing together, women from all around the world can defeat the ultimate enemy: war itself. Welcome to Armenia, a country that truly understands the value of peace.
Thank you, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank the Women Political Leaders Network for organizing this summit. I extend my appreciation to the Kingdom of Belgium and the European Parliament for hosting this important event. 10th anniversary of the WPL is a momentous occasion to celebrate the initiative that managed to unite the most diverse and the most powerful voices of women for a common good. I would like to hail the approach of the WPL that brings leadership, evidence, and common vision together to serve the cause of gender equality and empowerment of women for a better world. This is especially relevant today when rising insecurity, conflicts, and humanitarian emergencies roll back the achievements of the last decades, deepening mistrust within and between countries and societies, risking to create points of no return for future generations. It was the International Children's Day on June the 1st. One of the headlines of the day that attracted my attention was, "I want to be a king, to put an end to the wars." It was a reply of an Armenian boy to the question, what is his biggest wish? Another headline in international media that day was also about the war. It says, 11-year-old child died in Kiev. Maybe the link between those headlines is not that obvious, but I have full confidence that by saying this, the Armenian boy had in his mind protection of all children in Ukraine and elsewhere. I'm fully confident that Ukrainian or any other child would want to protect all children affected by the conflicts, no matter where, in Ukraine, in Russia, in Azerbaijan, in Armenia, or in Nagorno-Karabakh and beyond. The Child Protection Day was created by us, the adults. It's about protection of children from violations and abuses. We, as a global community, created bureaucracies, institutions, programs, and strategies. Yet there is still an urgent need to get our priorities straight, because at least 485 children died in Ukraine in just 1 year and 4 months. Another 992 were wounded. This is just one crisis area out of many where children's the most fundamental right to life cannot be secured. This is an individual and collective failure. Let's think over it. Maybe there is no need to be a king to break the never-ending chains of war. Maybe women decision makers, community leaders, or activists would shift the vicious pattern of using violence. I believe this was in the thinking more than 20 years ago when the Security Council Resolution 1325 on women, peace and security was adopted. Despite the global consensus on strengthening the role of women, we are still underrepresented in any security and peace-related spaces. I think the women in power bear special responsibility to take more decisive steps to change this situation. Dear friends, for centuries, Armenian people had a first-hand experience of all the hardship and calamities of war. We are still witnessing our borders being attacked and our compatriots in Nagorno-Karabakh enduring inhuman blockade and violations of their most basic human rights. Despite that, we are strongly convinced that there is no hierarchy to human suffering and there is no alternative to inclusive dialogue and peace. For me personally, this is condition sine qua non for all war spots, be that Nagorno-Karabakh, Ukraine, Sudan, Palestine, or elsewhere. I believe that women, especially women leaders from all conflict-affected peoples and communities, should step up their efforts and start to talk louder than roars of armaments, louder than calls for violence and hate. So, can we change the unwritten rules of leaving women behind the negotiating tables? With this in mind, it is my distinct pleasure to announce today that Armenia, in cooperation with WPL, will organize a summit dedicated to the role of women leaders in promoting democracy, peace and security in Yerevan from 19 to 20 October 2023. The two-day discussions will center around the issue of promoting democracy, peace and security with a specific focus on the issues of women's full, equal and meaningful participation in decision-making and conflict resolution. We are expecting wide, cross-regional presence at the summit, which has an ambition to provide a truly global platform for women leaders, policymakers, and civil society representatives. We are full of anticipation for the summit. On our part, we promise all the warmth of Armenian hospitality and the beauty of autumn in Yerevan. You have seen the glimpse of Armenia in the video clip. Let me once again thank for this important summit and congratulate the WPL for yet another contribution to a vital cause. I hope to welcome all of you in Yerevan to bring your voice and action for more inclusive, just, and safe world. Thank you.